What's up, YouTube? Eugenius here, joined by my fellow perfume snob, Christo Genius. Hope you're all well. We are at a lot slower pace today than we were last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. But we've got a scent of the day video for you today. Got a chance to meet up. Really, really ugly outside. Actually, the sky's clearing up, but it was like gray.
It was miserable when I left Hamilton.
Cold and
it was awful.
Well, miserable. Hamilton is kind of miserable on its own, but the weather certainly didn't help. So we're going to do a scent of the day, maybe do some more videos, hopefully be able to do a live stream later if we're still able to stand. But you want to go ahead and share your scent of the day?
Sure. So I wore this Chamade Pour Homme, and I'm kind of disappointed Eugene couldn't pick it up.
No,
the Guerlain guy and all.
Didn't smell anything when we, encountered.
And okay, so before you say what your scent of the day is, I recognized it the whole way here, but I couldn't place it.
Really?
I know it, and I think I might even have a bottle because I was. Oh, okay.
That's what I'm wearing.
I wasn't. I was wrong.
Well, you don't know what's in here.
Okay.
Well, it's a Guerlain, of course.
Of course. But it's one of like 3 things, I think.
All right. So what can it be?
So it's either going to be Val de Nuit. No. Val de Nuit, did it come in that bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the classics came.
Yeah, Val de Nuit.
In the gold cans.
Chamade for women. Of course, Mitsuko. And obviously the one I'm missing. Yeah, what is it? Oh, jeez. The Nahema.
Yes.
So it's a Nahema?
It is Nahema,
okay,
yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So this is the smaller canister. So all the 50 mils, the smaller bottles are EDP, and the bigger 100 mils are eau de toilettes. And as much as I like the EDP, like the extrait is on a whole different level, like
it's
completely
just cosmic.
It's. I think it's the one that's, the difference from EDP to extrait. The biggest differences you'll notice is in Nahema for me. Like, I can do EDT or EDP and all the other classics, but I much prefer the extrait in Nahema.
You see that.
And the scent is actually it is quite a bit different.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot sharper and not as creamy, not as smooth as the extrait. But I love this. It's just like this black, green, gothic rose.
Yeah, I agree.
Just so strange.
Yeah, okay. Now that we're here and there's a little bit more open space, I can't really smell it, but before when you're in the truck, I could smell what it was. I just couldn't place it. It was coming off really smoky to me, so I was going through all these incense fragrances, like Guerlain's, of course, and I was like, it's not Encens Mythique, I know that. It's not Santal Royale. It's not, kind of checking off things. I was thinking of the Armani Prives because we've been talking about them. And I just couldn't, I don't think I would have got that eventually because I don't own a bottle of that concentration, but.
It was that incensey, eh?
I don't know. There was something, so you know what I'm wearing. We all know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't this. It wasn't the Chamade Pour Homme. Unless there was a decant that was really strong, but it was I'm pretty sure it was coming off you, and I got something really smoky, or maybe even more like burning resins. Than an incensey church smoke kind of thing.
It's definitely really complex and it's very abstract. And trying to pick out what is in this fragrance, it kind of gives me a headache because I just want to stop and enjoy it for what it is, Mm-hmm. To me, it's very sharp, a little bit sour. It's got a little bit of green.
I remember the first time I smelled, probably the extrait. I remember just thinking it smelled like teriyaki rose or something. It's just so weird. Yeah, I think it's like sour and salty or something.
It's got aldehydes. It is very sour. I get a lot of patchouli from this. Almost reminds me of Rouge Hermes. Let me
I think you kind of mentioned that before, and you kind of blew my mind a bit because I was so in love with Nahema, and then you mentioned the Rouge, and I was like, wow, I never put that together.
Let me grab that really quick. Spray this motherfucker. There.
So I'm kind of running out of skin here already. You got a strip.
It's also very sour and
This one, a bit cleaner, fresher, but yeah, I can
It's very
definitely
sharp.
see. I can see the similarity. Interesting.
this is probably more leathery. They both have these green, like, landscape. All right, what else?
Well, you got a couple.
Pick
cool
this
things
up.
to
I don't
share.
know. Are you familiar with this? This is Ensemble Satin. I really
I've
like
tried
that.
them all several times. The Armani Preves. And I like a lot. I honestly do like a lot of them, but I just can't justify the price.
Right, and you don't find them discounted very often.
Oh wow, that's not what I was expecting.
But I think they've got two of the better incense-based fragrances with
Yeah.
Bois d'Encens and Ensemble Satin.
very very heavy resins. Very, very heavy resins.
Smoky.
Yes, very. I like that. I like that a lot.
So we're just at the drugstore.
Went in to buy some props.
We were looking for cocaine at the drugstore, and we ended up with Paco Rabanne Borom was on sale. And I know you brought your bottle one time. I was like, wow, that's still really good. Like, even after, how long has this been out now?
76?
70s or something?
Mid-70s? I want to say 76,
So
but mid-70s.
Pick this up for literally $20. It was on like,
Yeah, it's on the shelf at the Shoppers. Canada's like... Shoppers Drug Mart's kind of like Canada's, I don't know, Walgreens or whatever. Like, just like one-stop shop. And they've got these for 20 Canadian. 50
and then
mil.
when I smelled it on you, I was like, wow, I really like this style of perfume. Very green, very soapy, piney, very fresh,
Yeah.
but without being boring.
Clean and soapy, and I've not smelled anything that vintage on it, but whoever's
Still really good.
whoever has updated this has done a really good job kind of keeping it true masculine, but still kind of modern. Like, if you smelled this today, of course, compared to like 1 Million, which is a good example because it's the same house,
Right.
but you would smell this. It doesn't smell that aged, but it
It's
smells...
still got that classic touch to it, which I really, really like.
Mhm.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, I love it.
And for $20, you can't go wrong.
No.
We've all spent $20 on dumber things.
And I think the thing with this is I've worn it fully through and through, like start to finish, and it stays good. It doesn't fall to pieces like too many modern cheap designers do. Even more high-end designers just fall apart nowadays.
That's really good. You know what it reminds me of? The color of this is Polo.
Yeah,
I really like Polo, and I'd love to be able to find like an older
yeah.
bottle. But
I
even
can
like
see
the
that.
modern stuff spraying in the drugstore, it's still really like classic and masculine and smoky.
I think one
and
of my
dark.
biggest regrets is not picking up Polo Modern Reserve when I could get a bottle for like $50, because that stuff is awesome. It's kind of like a modernized version of Polo that's better than modern Polo, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. All right, have a whiff of some of these candles. I got these Frederic Malle candles. That's Bois de Santal. I actually burned that last night.
That's nice. Quite sweet.
It's really nice, though. Very creamy and warm. You know what this reminds me the most of, if I can compare it to a perfume, is something from Louton's, Santal Majuscule, without like the cacao.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. I'd almost say more jeu de peau to
Yeah.
me.
Very warm, bready, creamy.
Who made
And-
that one? Because I know a couple of
can't
them have
remember.
names on
I can't
them.
remember.
I was kind of peeking at
But
them before, but
I almost feel like Jeu de Peau and Santal Majuscule share the same base.
they definitely do. They definitely have
Small.
some.
I think you'll love
similar-
that. That's Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay. Because I was kind of looking at these before, and this one says, Bruno Jovanovic on the bottom.
Right.
So that one didn't have a name. Yeah, that's really good.
This reminds me of Avignon
Yeah,
by
for
Comme des
sure.
Garçons. Very incensey.
The Cardinal,
Dry, dark,
Avignon.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this one I haven't burned yet, but this is called Russian Nights. It's a little bit sweeter than I'd like.
Yeah, you know what? That almost reminds me of like Dries Van Noten or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that kind of dry
that vanilla, pukey vanilla,
Mhm.
milky. That's right. Good nose.
Which again, not a coincidence because it's the same house. I wonder who perfumed or who designed the others, but
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna light this one up. I'm gonna do that, and they've got to burn for like 1 hour per every inch of diameter.
really,
Like the first
before
time.
you actually get
Before you
aroma?
put it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Otherwise, like the candle will just tunnel down, and you'll have all this wax built up on the side.
I've gotten kind of niche or designer candles before, but nothing like Malle level. I got like Diptyque ones for free when I bought Diptyque stuff, and I got Comme des Garçons ones for free when I got Comme des Garçons stuff. I think I got some L'Artisans free when I bought L'Artisan stuff, but I've never had anything like Malle.
I've had the benzoin from I think it's called benjoin from Diptyque, and it's amazing. Like even when it's not burning, you can walk past, and it just has this huge aroma and this huge throw to it.
So I think it's a bit different now with the kind of shift in perfume, becoming mainstream. But apparently I talked to people at Diptyque and they're like, yeah, in a lot of the world, Diptyque are more famous for their candles. Like in Europe and whatever, they're more well known for their perfume.
Yeah,
but
for
North
sure.
America, Diptyque's, it's probably a bit different now, but they were better known for their candles in North America.
Well, I
than
love
perfume.
both their perfumes and their candles. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I like that. I like that Armani
yeah.
quite a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
reminds me of something it'll take me a minute to think of. But of course, like Avignon comes to mind, but there's something else that this reminds me
The
of.
Armani, the
Yeah.
incense. It's not like unsimilar to Bois d'Encens. It shares a lot of the those dark, dry,
Mm-hmm.
resinous notes, but
Mhm.
I like it a lot.
And you said there was like a sale at...
There was
it
at Holtz, yeah, it was a
you
pretty
picked
good
that
sale.
up.
I mean, there's a few nice ones. I don't know if I would go and
Yeah.
binge on the whole line.
I've got 3 that I've gotten either heavily discounted or in swaps, and I'm happy with all 3. They're not things that I would go and pay retail for,
Yeah,
but I'm happy with them for what they are, for what I paid or swapped.
all right. Well, there you go. Hopefully, we're going to be able to have some time to do a review. Kind of undecided on what perfume to review, but we're talking and thinking about it. But thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all again soon.